Good evening. This is Akashvani. I'm Anuja Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. CP Radhakrishnan becomes the 15th Vice President of India. Former Chief Justice Sushila Karki appointed as interim Prime Minister of Nepal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Gyan Bharatam Mission is set to become the voice of India's culture, literature and consciousness. UPI raises person-to-merchant daily transactions up to 10 lakh rupees from 15th of September. Union Minister Piyush Goyal reiterates India and European Union working with sincerity to finalize comprehensive and balanced free trade agreement. Russia halts peace talks with Ukraine, accuses Europe for stalling peace process. And in badminton, Lakshya Sen enters semi-final by defeating compatriot Ayush Shetty at Hong Kong Open. And now the news in detail. President Draupadi Murmu today administered the oath of office of Vice President of India to CP Radhakrishnan at the swearing-in ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, former President Ramnath Kovind, Mr. C.P. Radhakrishnan's predecessor Jagdeep Dhankar, and Union Ministers including Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, J.P. Nadda, Piyush Goyal and Nitin Gadkari were present on the occasion.
I,
Chandraviram Ponnusamy Radhakrishnan,
do swear in the name of God
do swear in the name of God
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of India
to the Constitution of India
as by law established, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty
and that I will faithfully discharge the duty
upon which I am about to enter.
Mr. Radhakrishnan emerged victorious in the vice presidential elections held on the 9th of this month. NDA nominee Radhakrishnan bagged 452 votes, defeating the INDIA bloc candidate and former Supreme Court Judge B. Sudarshan Reddy by a margin of 152 votes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said Gyan Bharatam Mission is set to become the voice of India's culture, literature and consciousness. Addressing the gathering at the International Conference on Gyan Bharatam in New Delhi, Mr. Modi said India has the world's largest collection of about 1 crore manuscripts.
आज भी भारत के पास दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट संग्रह है। करीब 1 करोड़ मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट हमारे पास है। साथियों, इतिहास के क्रूर थपेड़ों में लाखों मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट जला दी गई, लुप्त हो गई, लेकिन जो बची है वो इस बात की साक्षी है कि ज्ञान, विज्ञान, पठन पाठन के लिए हमारे पूर्वजों की निष्ठा कितनी गहरी थी, कितनी व्यापक थी.
He further stated that throughout history, crores of manuscripts were destroyed, but the ones that remain show how devoted the ancestors were to knowledge, science and learning. He added that India is itself a living stream shaped by its ideas, ideals and values.
राष्ट्रों की आधुनिक अवधारणा से अलग भारत की एक सांस्कृतिक पहचान है, अपनी चेतना है, अपनी आत्मा है. भारत का इतिहास सिर्फ सल्तनतों की जीत हार का नहीं है. हमारे यहाँ रियासतों और राज्यों के भूगोल बदलते रहे, लेकिन हिमालय से हिंद महासागर तक भारत अक्षुण्ण रहा, क्योंकि भारत स्वयं में एक जीवंत प्रवाह है जिसका निर्माण उसके विचारों से, आदर्शों से और मूल्यों से हुआ है.
The Prime Minister also launched the Gyan Bharatam portal, a dedicated digital platform to accelerate manuscript digitization, preservation and public access, and address the gathering on the occasion. The 3-day conference began yesterday under the theme Reclaiming India's Knowledge Legacy Through Manuscript Heritage. The conference has brought together leading scholars, conservationists, technologists and policy experts to deliberate on pathways for revitalizing India's unparalleled manuscript wealth and to place it at the heart of a global knowledge dialogue. It also includes an exhibition showcasing rare manuscripts and scholarly presentations on the critical areas such as manuscript conservation, digitization technologies, metadata standards, legal frameworks, cultural diplomacy, and decipherment of ancient scripts. Former Chief Justice Sushila Karki became the first women Prime Minister to lead the interim government of Nepal after KP Oli resigned amid massive anti-corruption protests against his government. The decision was arrived at following a consensus between Gen Z protesters, President Ramchandra Podel, and Army Chief Ashok Raj Sigdel. Ms. Karki was Nepal's first woman Chief Justice and served between 2016 and 2017. More from our correspondent.
Former Chief Justice of Nepal, Sushila Karki, is going to take oath as Prime Minister of interim government tonight at 9 p.m. in Sheetal Niwas. Oath will be administered by President of Nepal, Ramchandra Podel. Pass out from BHU in India, Karki has 10 years of experience as judge and 30 years as a lawyer. Sweta Singh for Akashvani Samachar, Kathmandu.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Bairabi-Sairang new railway line project tomorrow during his visit to Mizoram. The rail line will connect the capital of Mizoram, Aizawl, with the Indian Railways network for the first time in history. Over 51-kilometre rail line has been constructed at a cost of around 8,000 crore rupees. With this project, Aizawl becomes the fourth northeastern capital city after Guwahati, Agartala and Itanagar to be connected to the Indian Railways network, opening avenues for trade, tourism and economic growth. Union Minister for Railways Ashwini Vaishnaw said that the project work was very difficult as it features 45 tunnels and 55 major bridges. He said the project will bring significant changes in the life of the people of Mizoram.
Bairabi-Sarang project is a very important project for connecting Mizoram with the railway network. This project has been constructed under great challenges. So there is a new tunneling method which has been created. In this project from Bairabi to Sarang, in a distance of 51 kilometers, there are 45 tunnels and 55 bridges. So these are very complex projects. One of the bridges is actually taller than the Qutub Minar. Tomorrow morning we will be starting 3 trains. One is Rajdhani Express to Delhi. Second is Kolkata. We are connecting Tri-Weekly Express. Then Mizoram Express to Guwahati as a daily express.
Talking to Akashvani News, Mizoram Governor and former Union Minister General retired VK Singh termed the Bairabi-Sairang railway project very ambitious and important.
कनेक्टिविटी हो रही, इसके साथ साथ जो है आर्थिक स्थिति है वो मजबूत होगी। लॉजिस्टिक्स के अंदर रेलवे का कॉस्ट कम आता, रोड के बनिस्बत या एयर के बनिस्बत, उससे फायदा होगा। बड़ी मात्रा में चीजें आ सकती, जिन चीजों को पहले दिक्कत होती थी अब उनको लाने के अंदर आसानी हो, यहाँ से जो चीजें जानी है उनको ले जाने के अंदर आसानी हो। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी चीज और इसका असली फर्क आपको नजर आएगा कुछ सालों के अंदर। धीरे धीरे जब चीजें बढ़ती चली जाएंगी तो आप देखेंगे कि एक बिल्कुल एक नया लोगों के अंदर उत्साह होगा, यहाँ पे उन्नति होगी, प्रगति होगी।
During his visit, Prime Minister Modi will also flag off 3 train services: Aizawl-Sairang, Delhi Rajdhani Express, Sairang-Kolkata Express and Sairang-Guwahati Express. On the occasion of Independence Day this year, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the next generation of GST reforms by Diwali. His vision was realized on the 3rd of September, with the GST Council reducing tax rates in many sectors to ease the life of citizens. Today, we take a look at the reforms for tax-free stationery items.
In a major relief for households and students, the government has taken an important step to ease the burden on the common man by exempting several essential goods from the GST. Under the next GST reforms, stationery items such as notebooks, graph books, sharpeners, pencil and others will be brought down to zero tax under the new structure. Talking to Akashvani News, a student has hailed the government for introducing new GST reforms.
As a student of human rights, I see the new GST changes as more than just tax reforms. They feel like a promise by making essential like notebooks, pencil, erasers and even map tax-free. The government is saying that learning should never be weighed down by extra cost. It's a reminder that education is not a privilege, it's a right. For families across India, this means a lighter burden and brighter possibilities. For students, it means every page we turn, every lesson we learn become a little more accessible. These reforms may look small, but they carry the poetry of progress where every child's dream of education is valued and protected.
The GST reduction in this sector is expected to ease the financial strain on students and make these products more affordable. New tax rates will come into effect from 22nd of this month. Shivang, Akashvani News, Delhi.
The National Payments Corporation of India has announced a major revision of the Unified Payments Interface UPI limit for person-to-merchant transactions, which will come in effect from the 15th of September. According to the circular issued by the National Payments Corporation of India last month, the new UPI rules are designed to make high-value digital payments easier and more secure for Indian users. After this change, users can now make UPI merchant transactions of up to 10 lakh rupees in a single day for selected verified categories. However, the UPI limit for person-to-person transfers remains unchanged at 1 lakh rupees per day. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal today said India and the European Union are working with sincerity and commitment to finalize a comprehensive and balanced free trade agreement that will benefit businesses and consumers on both sides. Addressing the annual session of the Automotive Component Manufacturers Association in New Delhi, Mr. Goyal noted that such an agreement cannot be a one-sided arrangement, as every negotiation involves a certain degree of give and take to ensure fairness and balance. India's retail inflation inched up to 2.07% in August, marking an increase of 46 basis points as compared to the upwardly revised figure of 1.61% in July. However, the inflation rate is well within the RBI's target rate of 4%. According to data released by the Ministry of Statistics and Programme Implementation, inflation in rural areas increased to 1.69% and at 2.47% in urban regions. The Indian Navy today commissioned INS Aravali at a commissioning ceremony in Gurugram in the presence of Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi. Speaking on the occasion, the Navy Chief said the new base would not only be a hub of technology, but also of collaboration, which will link platforms and partners across the oceans. This is a step towards India's vision of mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions, that is Mahasagar, and strengthen India's role as the preferred security partner in the Indian Ocean region. Russia has announced that peace talks with Ukraine is on hold, but Kremlin remains committed to a diplomatic resolution to the Ukraine conflict. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters in Moscow today that direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine remain possible, but are currently suspended. Mr. Peskov also agreed with remarks by Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, who earlier this week accused European Union leaders and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky of stalling the peace process. In sports news, India's Lakshya Sen has defeated compatriot Ayush Shetty in a 3-game thriller to make it to the semifinals of the Hong Kong Open Badminton tournament. In the quarter-final match today, both Indian shuttlers set the court on fire, but the more experienced Sen came up trumps to win the match 21-16, 17-21, 21-13. Meanwhile, in the men's doubles, India's Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty have clinched a spot in the semi-finals. The IMD has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall at isolated places over Uttarakhand, Telangana, Marathwada and northeastern states for tomorrow. Similar conditions are also predicted over Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, East Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Konkan, Goa, Madhya Maharashtra, Odisha and Vidarbha. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. CP Radhakrishnan becomes the 15th Vice President of India. Former Chief Justice Sushila Karki becomes first woman Prime Minister to lead interim government of Nepal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Gyan Bharatam Mission to set to become the voice of India's culture, literature and consciousness. UPI raises person-to-merchant daily transactions up to 10 lakh rupees from 15th of September. Union Minister Piyush Goyal reiterates India and European Union working with sincerity to finalize comprehensive and balanced free trade agreement. Russia halts peace talks with Ukraine, accuses Europe for stalling peace process. And in badminton, Lakshya Sen enters semi-final by defeating compatriot Ayush Shetty at Hong Kong Open. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.